I'll just talk. Thank you all so much for being here today. My name is Paige Crain, and this is my friend and colleague Holden Bitner. We are, as lovers of the Lexington Public Library, we are thrilled to have the opportunity to perform here today. As we brainstormed ideas for what pieces to perform on this program, Holden and I kept coming back to one of our favorite genres of classical music, and that is late 19th and early 20th century French music. What I personally love about the music of this time and place is the way it can range from a highly sentimental to curious and quirky. There can be a heart-wrenching outpouring of emotion in one movement, while the next movement seems to say, just kidding, let's be silly now, which you will hear on this program. Our first piece, Meditation, was composed by Jules Massenet, who lived mainly in the Romantic era. Massenet was known for his operas, ballets, and orchestral works, among other genres, and it is actually from Massenet's 1894 opera, Thaïs, where we get the Meditation from. Meditation was originally composed for solo violin and orchestra, and it takes place between the second and third scene, or the scenes in the second act, when the main character is supposedly meditating on her decision to leave her current lifestyle for a more righteous one. Have you ever heard a hit song that is so highly played and so popular that you know all the words, but you don't know any other song on the album? That's kind of like Meditation from this opera. The opera actually was and is performed moderately, but Meditation as a standalone instrumental solo has far surpassed the popularity of the larger work it belongs to. It is so well loved that it's been transcribed for many different instruments besides the violin, as you can see, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to play it myself as a not traditionally orchestral musician. I hope you enjoyed our first piece, and I will now turn it over to Holden to introduce our next one.
Paige. The next work we'll be playing is Nadia Boulanger's Three Pieces for Cello and Piano. Nadia Boulanger was quite a gifted and important figure in the music world of the 20th century. She was a talented composer, but more or less gave up composing at a young age to devote herself to other musical efforts, particularly teaching. Musicians from all over the world traveled to study with her in Paris. Famous composers such as Aaron Copland, Philip Glass, Virgil Thompson, Astor Piazzolla, Elliott Carter, Leonard Bernstein, and Lexington's own Julia Perry were students of hers at one time or another. Boulanger mostly taught out of her family home in Paris, but in her lifetime she also taught at the Royal College of Music in the UK, the Juilliard School, the Longy School, and the Peabody School in Baltimore. Boulanger also worked as a guest conductor, being the first woman to conduct the London Philharmonic, as well as appearing with orchestras like the New York Philharmonic, the Boston Symphony Orchestra, and the BBC Symphony. As Boulanger diverted her efforts from composing while she was still in her 30s, and as much of her music may not have made it to publication due to the prejudices of the early 20th century, she did not leave us with a large body of work. We are lucky to share three pieces with you. This work was originally written for organ and cello instead of piano and cello, but the composer transcribed it herself and published it in 1914. The three works here are of contrasting nature. The first features long lines on the cello and a rippling effect from the piano, when combined with the use of a mute on the cello, perhaps sounds like the most impressionistic of the three, reminiscent of the music of earlier French composers like Fauré and Debussy. The second piece is going to be more folk-like, featuring short melodic ideas exchanged between both instruments, almost as if they are playing a game of musical tag. And the last piece of this collection is the most vivacious, and while it's short, it includes several contrasting sections and melodic ideas, and it showcases the enormous range of the cello and the fluidity of the piano, which transforms from a lyrical melodic lead to a thunderous supporting instrument. We hope you enjoy Three Pieces for Cello and Piano by Nadia Boulanger. piece. This is the 1948 Sonata for piano and cello by Francis Poulenc. I believe it's the latest piece on our program. It's quite possibly my personal favorite addition to the collaborative repertoire of our instruments, probably just because it's been the most fun to study and play. I've been with this piece for many years, and it's a treat to play it again with Paige here on this stage. For me, I love this piece due to its brilliant writing. Oftentimes, a piece in the genre for cello and piano kind of leans too heavily on assigning the cello and piano to respective roles, as the cello being a melodic instrument and the piano as an accompanimental instrument, more of an accompanimental orchestra. Often case, piano parts are much thicker and much more difficult than what the other instrument has to play. But in this case, Poulenc has shifted the balance to something much more equal. As you'll hear through every part, every movement of this piece, both instruments pass melodies and accompanimental figures back and forth at the drop of a hat, resulting in a fluid, ever-transforming melodic line that drives each movement from beginning to end. What this means is that so much of our preparation to perform this work is not simply mastering the technical details, but also learning to deeply engage in real-time conversation as we play. For all four parts of this piece, Poulenc pairs traditional neoclassical forms with quirky and mercurial melodic writing. You'll hear each movement introduce melodies, go on to explore other territory, and then return back to its original thoughts. Sort of a loosely palindromic structure, if you will. As Paige mentioned earlier, in this genre, there's some profound and serious movements, like some of my favorites in the second movement, the Cavatine, and there are also some downright silly ones too, like in the third movement, the Ballabile. The truth is, all parts of this work constantly change and evolve beyond a single emotional archetype, resulting in a really dynamic musical narrative. Without further ado, we'll perform Poulenc Sonata for cello and piano.
afternoon, Debussy's Beau, soir was composed around 1880 for voice and piano. There's a long tradition of instrumentalists transcribing and performing songs that were meant to be sung. And as a collaborative pianist, I always enjoy this exchange of repertoire among my colleagues. It promotes better understanding and appreciation of one another's musical points of view, and it immensely expands the repertory possibilities for instrumentalists. Many, including myself, believe that cello is an especially appropriate instrument for playing vocal repertoire because of its range and its rich legato tone. One aspect of the performance that gets lost when performed by an instrument, however, is the text. Of course, the poetry is in French, so as we found out, none of us here would understand it anyway, but I believe it's important for the audience to have the complete context of the piece. So I will now read the translation of the poem Beau, soir by Paul Bourget. Beautiful evening. When at sunset the rivers are rose-tinted, and a mild breeze flutters across the wheat fields. All things seem to advise content and rise toward the troubled heart. A suggestion to enjoy the charm of being in the world, while one is young and the night is beautiful. For we shall depart as this wave departs, it to the sea, and we to the tomb. I believe the image of the wave suggested in the final two lines of the poem is expanded throughout the entire piece by Debussy. The piano part sounds like waves repeatedly crashing, while the voice/cello part glides serenely through it. And just as the poem suggests, let us leave behind our troubles and enjoy the beauty of the earth while we're here. Thank you again for being such a great audience, and please enjoy our final piece, Beau, soir.